What is going on, guys? I am Paul Ryan, your host of the Across the Cowboys podcast. This podcast is part of the Across the Board Sports podcast family. If you're new to the show, thank you for joining us. And to our regular listeners, welcome back. With me, as always, is my co-host.
The horniest in the world. I know that's what you're going to say. I know that's what you're going to say. Even though your ass was putting on the horny ass music.
Oh, man, you caught me, Mike. That's exactly what I was going to say, but I caught myself.
It's off the rails. It's right, like seconds in. At CD Piglet, guys. Nice and easy.
Well, Mike, the offseason has officially started, hasn't it?
Yeah. So sad. At least the playoffs were good.
Yeah.
Playoffs were good this weekend. Very enjoyable. Oh, my heater's on. I'm going to turn that off. There we go.
Well, what is it, a chilling 75 degrees out there in Cali, Mike?
I have my heater on 75 degrees. It's in the 60s. That's freezing.
Oh, no, not the 60s.
Scientific fact. 60s in California, freezing. Water freezes at like 68 degrees here in California. It's
Did you buy a snow shovel?
Yeah, exactly. We have to shovel the ice out there at 68 degrees.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I asked you this or not, but I swear it seems like anybody and everybody who's from Cali wears a hoodie regardless of the weather. Is that a thing in Cali where like every day is hoodie weather?
I wear it when it's cold, but once summer comes, I don't wear the hoodie. I wear when it's cold though, yeah. Hoodie. Everybody wears hoodies. We love hoodies. But when it gets in Fresno, it gets like to 112. Like it gets way hotter than it does cold. Cold is just we're wussies in California. We don't like cold. But I'm not doing some gang sign. My fingers they need to stretch. I was going like this, and I'm like, people are gonna be like, "What is this guy doing over here?" I'm like, my fingers hurt. I have neuropathy. But in the summer, it gets too hot. So no, there's definitely not hoodies all year around in Fresno. Hell no.
I just think because like the people that, in Texas that I met that are from California, regardless of the weather here in Texas, they've always got a hoodie on. So I'm like, I wonder if that's a California thing where it's just, it's hoodie season all season.
We wear hoodies when it's cold, but not typically no. When it starts to warm up, you're out of the hoodie.
My perfect outfit is a hoodie with shorts and flip-flops. If I can wear that day, it's a good day.
Mine all day. You guys call them pajamas. I call them lounge pants. See my Disney shit? Yeah. Disney, Goofy. I wear that with a hoodie when it's cold. I wear that shit to the movies. I don't even care.
Really? You'll go that cozy to the movies?
The last movie I went in my Baby Yoda Grogu lounge pants. I have 9 different types of Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, of those types of shit. Pajamas, as you guys call them, I wear them out. They're pajamas when I'm in bed.
Would you wear pajama pants to dinner? Like going
what
out to
kind
dinner
of dinner?
Somewhere? Like you're meeting up with the homies to have beers and like appetizers and watch a game.
Nah, probably not that much. I walk to the store in the mornings in them because I don't care. I know everybody there. They see me every day. I'll go to the movies if it's a late night movie. I typically won't if I'm going at like 6, 7 o'clock, I won't. But if I'm going late or early morning, I'll wear them. But I wear them a lot. I don't care. Whatever.
I like to be cozy as well, especially in the colder months. I've recently bought some sweatpants that are they're more athletic looking, like they kind of got the fitted bottom, so they look a little bit more, I don't want to say professional, but more casual to where like you could wear them to the movies or wear them to breakfast, like wear them to run errands, things like that. And they're kind of sportier looking.
Bro, I'm mad like this. I don't like wearing it. It needs to be Disney. But what happened is on my last Disney trip, they didn't really have any merchandise because, all the boats and all the shit going on. So I didn't buy any outfits while I was there at Disneyland. And like I need to rotate them out. Like it's been 2020, it was closed. So I was wearing stuff from like 2019. I don't mind that really, but I would like a couple new things. So I got these, just to have new stuff. Or I got the DAC one, the Faith Fight Finish. I got that. So I hate wearing stuff that's not Disney. Like, you might as well throw it in the trash. It makes me mad that I have to wear this.
If it wasn't for my wife and my son, I'd have endless amounts of shoes and probably like I would buy everything that Dak makes, Micah, that kind of stuff. I would make sure to support all those guys and buy their hoodies and shirts and hats and everything.
Bro, why is Trayvon Diggs' jersey only available in the Navy? I want defenders in white or alternative. I want offensive players in the navy blue, and Diggs is only in navy blue. I'm like,
so that's going to be your next purchase, obviously.
Yeah, I want Diggs, and then I'm considering getting Osa.
Ooh, I like that.
But Osa I'll probably get into the season next season. Diggs I'll get this off season. Osa, I'll wait, see how he comes back.
I wanted to get a Parsons, but then everybody started getting a Parsons. I was like, well, you know what? Diggs or Gregory would be a good one, but now I'm also kind of thinking maybe Boss Man.
But Boss Man will be got. I'm going to get Boss Man too. I just want to make sure he starts and he's ready to go and everything. But Boss Man and Osa, see him doing my gang signs again. Neuropathy, dude. I swear to God. Put my hands down here.
Doing the thuggish, sluggish bone over there, Mike.
Yeah, well, I know there's like signs that people do. It's like, politically incorrect, and I don't know any of them. I don't do them, so I'm not throwing signs. I have nerve damage, so this stuff is, hey, I'm hurting. So give me a break on the gang signs.
Well, growing up running around out there in Cali, Mike, I know you were a smart guy, but did you kind of run around with with the guys who were a little bit rougher around the edges, if you will?
I had a weird mix. Okay, so I was like, God, I'm gonna get us kicked off. You know how every school you have that one Asian dude, you can't pronounce his name, and he wins like every award?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, it was me and that guy winning. It was one of us winning every award. So I had the like smart, like nerdy thing. And then I played basketball. So I had the jock and, the people that play basketball, which I'm definitely not going to go into race about that. Oh, God. Please I'm going to get us kicked off air. Look, I had a ton of black friends because I played basketball. All right. That's just how it was.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that, right?
No, because it's about to get worse.
Oh, God.
The guy that I live with and his family, Mexican guy, Fresno Bulldogs, like all that, because he was like my family, like I took him into my house and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about, getting stabbed or anything by the Fresno Bulldogs, no matter what I wore, because I wore blue in Dallas all the time. I was like protected, so I was hella friends with the Mexican people. So I had the Asian nerdy white and Asian community. We were hella cool. Basketball was African American, and then I was like, basically my brother was like in the gang. So I was really had a multitude of people. And then my best friend in high school ended up being Muhammad, who obviously is like, I had a eclectic set group of, like, you wouldn't see us all hanging out all the time because, there just wasn't a lot in common with the different groups. So if I played basketball, I was with one group. If we were doing something school-wise, I was with another one. Yeah. And then if I was just hanging out with Cisco, it was just like, hey, don't stab the white guy.
All right. Are you a fan of the gangster movie Blood In, Blood Out?
Yeah, great movie. Great movie. I mean, it's a little overrated, but it is good. It's a good movie.
Well, why do you say that?
I don't know. It's just seen as like one of the all-time greats. And
it's a classic, not a great.
Yeah, that and Scarface for me are good movies, but they're kind of overhyped. Not that they're not good, but they're like there's better movies.
We should do here in a little while, or here in a couple of weeks, maybe we should rank our top 5 gangster movies.
Yeah, Mitchell would love that one. That's his thing. Mitchell said we need to do our top 5 heroes, but not like it doesn't have to be just Avengers or what, like any heroes that are legitimate, like, heroes. Like you can't say like, well, Darth Vader killed the Emperor, so he's a hero. Like he was a bad guy. Like legitimate, fought the bad guy heroes, your top 5. And he was saying like it's hard because you have all the Avengers, you have Jedis, you have DC comics, you have there's just so many to go through. And then there's like, he was like, well, you would have John McClane because I'm just a die. If I had a son, I would have named him McClane John Crumb. I love John McClane.
Wow.
And so he would have to be up there. He was like, it's so hard to pick just 5. And I was like, that's a good one. I like that. So yeah, we have a lot of topics.
Jon Snow would be on my list.
Jon Snow, good one. I like Jon Snow. I would like his book character to find out what he actually does, finish in the actual, story of it. But we all know that guy's gonna die before those come out. He just takes forever. He takes forever. He's old. He's out of shape. He's just never gonna make it long enough to friggin' put out all those books. That's garbage. Hurry up and put your stupid books out.
Well, Mike, we're already off the rails here. Before we get you going on another tangent, before we discuss any football talk, of course, we have to discuss Meatless Monday. So I'm curious, what was on the menu today?
Today we had, what did I have for breakfast? Breakfast is nothing. I had a glucose drink. I had a good lunch though. I took my kale pesto that was left over from the reset. I boiled some noodles. I took pasta water from it, mixed it in with the pesto to make a sauce, sauteed some mushrooms or tomatoes and garlic, mixed it all together and had a pesto pasta. And then later on, I have some corn tamales. So when we get off of this, I'll have a couple of corn tamales are the best. They're like part dessert, part dinner. They're like sweet. Ugh, so good.
Is Fresno corn? Is it Fresno corn season, sir?
Not yet.
Okay.
No. If it was Fresno corn season, we'd be getting down on some stuff. If it was Fresno corn season. When Fresno I don't care if you come from Iowa, you don't touch our corn. Our corn is the best. And we don't do anything else good at all in this city, but our corn is better than your corn. You think you have good corn. Wherever you're listening right now, you're like, nah, man, you don't know. No, you don't. You don't have corn like Fresno has corn. Fresno made it on Food Network for their corn. The dish was just a corn sauce with a corn filling. That was it in pasta. The corn is amazing here.
So I assume you've made quite a few elotes out of that Fresno corn, huh?
Yeah, we've had elote. I'd say every season I probably buy 100 ears.
Oh wow,
100 ears of corn, 30 to 40 at a time. And then you go through and you make your different, I make corn risotto. It's my favorite food. When Fresno State's corn goes, I make corn risotto, and that is my personal favorite meal of all. I love that. It's so good.
Still to this day, man, I have not had good risotto. I'm hoping to change that one day.
You come here. Risotto is one of the things for sure I make because I love it personally. So, and I don't have a struggle making it. It takes me about 17 minutes. Cake, get through it. It's delicious. Trust you will like. I make a corn stalk out of the ears of corn that I take off from the Fresno State. I make the stalk that we put into the risotto out of that. It's so good.
Sounds amazing, Mike. Well, another thing that was pretty amazing this weekend was those playoff games. What game was your favorite this weekend?
You're good, sir. It's a great transition, sir.
I've been getting rusty, sir.
That's why you're the best. Bills, Kansas City. The elite quarterback play that was incredible. It was great just to see them go back and forth, and it kind of killed the QB wins narrative because you cannot play better than Josh Allen played football. Period.
Yeah,
you cannot.
Patrick Mahomes, right? Had he lost, of course.
Josh Allen was like 77% completion over his time 2 games, 9 touchdowns, no picks, 700 and something yards. He played perfect quarterback, and he's at home because his defense couldn't hold a 13-second lead. Couldn't hold a lead for 13 seconds. Like, man, it just missed me with the QB wins bullshit. But that was my game. That was my number one.
Yeah, Mike, of course, that was going to be the obvious answer, and rightfully so. I mean, that game was a masterpiece. But other than the obvious, again, talking about Kansas City Buffalo, I'm going to go with the San Francisco Green Bay game. They've met several times in the playoffs. they've had a strong rivalry for a while, and it reminded me that your quarterback doesn't have to be perfect to win a game. Just kind of what you were alluding to, Mike, is that it doesn't always rely on the quarterback. I felt like that was a really good game when you factor in the weather conditions and San Francisco being on the road and everything.
Yeah, it was an old school type of game. You know, if
Right,
you're
right.
looking for the big excitement and everything, that's not it. But if you want the old school NFC North, Green Bay, like Bears type, Niners fit that style with their running and their defense. And I was surprised. Aaron Rodgers really didn't play bad. He played bad for Aaron Rodgers, you know, but Jimmy G was terrible in one. Like, this was a very good weekend to tell people about quarterbacks to shut the fuck up. You know, people are like, oh, yeah, but what has he done? What has he won? What is he this, that? I'm like, watch Jimmy G play and win. Watch Josh Allen play and lose. And then shove QB wins up your ass. That's for Dan Rupert right there, because he hates the stupid QB wins bull crap. So
Mike's got the tequila talking tonight.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Tequila is what exactly?
I think vodka's made out of potatoes. I don't know what tequila's made out of.
Yeah, I know it's good. I friggin' oh, you know what? I'm not even I've already got it canceled enough. I'm not even going. Just skip. Go to the next question. You don't even want to know, believe me.
You know, Mike, we saw the Cincinnati Bengals be the heartbreakers of the week in eliminating the Tennessee Titans and to advance to the AFC title game. When you look at Burrow and the Bengals advance to that AFC championship, is it more evident that Dak and Dallas really missed a golden opportunity this year?
I didn't need to see Burrow and them do it. The way Tampa played this weekend is what got me. Yeah, they made a comeback at the end. The defense got a couple turnovers, but I think if we found a way to upset the Niners, because they beat our ass, it shouldn't have been that close. But if we found a way to pull that off, I don't think Tampa could have beat us, because they are a run-stopping team, and we weren't going to run. We would have just threw on them again, and if you saw what Matt Stafford did, you know, to him, he had a bad second half. I'll give him that, because they got a lead and they kind of played conservative for a little bit. But the minute he went back to passing, boom, boom, Cooper Kupp, Hill. And, our defense would have been good enough to hold up. You know, Jalen Ramsey gave up one deep shot to Mike Evans. That's about what I expect Diggs to give up. Diggs shut him down last time. You know, you put a couple guys on Gronk and don't let him be the guy. And then who? Who are they going to do? Scotty Miller? Well, to be honest, just being real, you know, Rams secondary is worse than ours. Like, Anthony Brown, I'd rather have on Scotty Miller. Even Jordan Lewis, you know, I think would do a better job. So that's what really made it like a damn, because now if you look at it, say Rams beat Green Bay, which was possible the way they both played, and Rams could have won that, we would have been at home in the NFC Championship game with a chance to go on to the Super Bowl. You know, maybe we win, maybe we lose, but that experience of winning a couple games and getting to that point would have been huge going forward. So, you know, it's too bad. They definitely missed an opportunity.
Yeah, I remember feeling, Mike, that had Dallas, San Francisco, I felt that we were going to go to the Super Bowl. But, you know, like you said, Dallas really did miss an opportunity regardless. You know, however, I feel like the Bengals are just showing everyone that come playoff time, man, anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, if you have the quarterback and you have a good play caller, got a shot in any game, because their offensive line stinks. But they had enough weapons and a good enough play caller and a good enough quarterback that they over and a defense that held a very good Tennessee team to 16 points. And there you go. That's how you win at 16 or 17, something like that.
Yeah, I wonder how much, especially with Tennessee, when you think about A.J. Brown missed a few games, Julio Jones missed quite a few games, Derrick Henry, obviously, he missed quite a few games as well. How much rust factored into Tennessee, you know, that week off, how much that really hurt them, you know, instead of having that momentum going into the playoffs.
That's crazy, because Tampa didn't get a week off, but it was their first game since week one that they had all their defensive players healthy. And, you know, they just didn't look great. And you don't play together. It's not Madden where you just plug them in. Like we've said a million times on this pod, they're humans. They're human beings, and they have to be able to get continuity. It's not just an overall who's better overall. You have to work together and learn and see what each other wants to do. And Tampa didn't get a chance to do that. And obviously on the other end, I'm blanking the team we're just talking about right now. They Tennessee, yeah, didn't get a chance to work together like that, and it affects them. Sorry about that. It is the tequila. 100%.
Mike, you touched on it there a little bit, but when you look at the teams that played over the weekend, where would you rank the Cowboys among those teams?
I have it down here. Let me see. Kansas City would be first. Yeah. Buffalo would be second for me. I would put the quarterback's bad. LA Rams, San Francisco. I'm going to go Rams first because their roster is just better, and I like Stafford better than Jimmy G. But you can make an argument for Niners being there. Then Green Bay. I put Dallas over Tampa because Tampa had so many injuries, and then Tennessee, and then Cincinnati. So I have us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, for me, Mike, number 1, Kansas City. Number 2, I had actually Green Bay, and what was made the final decision for me was the quarterback. And not that I like Aaron Rodgers that much more than Josh Allen, but I still do think that Aaron Rodgers is better than Josh Allen. Number 3, Buffalo. Number 4, the LA Rams. Number 5, Dallas. Number 6, Tampa Bay. Number 7, San Francisco. 8, Tennessee, and number 9, Cincinnati. And I kind of feel bad for having Cincinnati last because I do like Joe Burrow, I like Jamar Chase, and I think they're an up-and-coming team. But of all the teams there, I still think they've got a little bit more work to do to be, to make that leap.
What's up with Niners? Won 8 of 10, beat us, went into Green Bay and won. How the hell do you have them so low? Their defense, their running game, their play caller.
Jimmy G.
Yeah, that's why I thought we'd win by a couple scores. I thought we'd handle them because I didn't think Jimmy G was good.
Hey, man, he's doing just enough.
Yeah, well, he's not. He ain't even doing just enough. Just everyone else, every other area of the game is doing so much that because he's not even doing just enough. Just Debo and the defense and Mitchell, they're playing so above board that it's carrying a not a very good quarterback.
Yeah, Kittle was surprised though, because when in the first half there, when they couldn't really get anything going and they had open shots, Kittle had a big drop, Ayuk had a big drop. They weren't really doing Garoppolo a lot of favors.
I was shocked when Kittle dropped the ball. It's just something you don't see. It's surprising when you see a great player like that make a brain fart, really, because he's not a drop person. So yeah, that was crazy. But I mean, Jimmy he's bad. Oof.
Hey, he's in a championship game, man. So that says a lot.
Yeah, that does. It says a lot about what a good defense and running game and coach can do for you. That's what that says.
Now, sticking with these quarterbacks, Mike, where would you rank Dak among the quarterbacks that played this weekend?
Well, Mahomes obviously 1, Rodgers 2,
yeah,
Allen 3, Brady 4.
Oh.
I mean, he had an MVP year. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't so crazy, Tom Brady had a great year this year. Now, he has a lot of help, but still, he's got to get the ball out, this and that, So I'm giving him the respect, putting it up there. Dak would be after that. I think you can easily make a case for Burrow being above Dak. The only reason I don't is because of there's so much Burrow hasn't seen yet, just like Justin Herbert. I think in a couple years, they're going to be clear 2 of the top. For right now, I would put Dak ahead of him. Dak's ran a number 1 offense more weeks than any other quarterback that he's been healthy since 2019. I know he didn't have a great game this last playoffs, but we're going to talk about, we have more issues than we thought we did. And, so I put Dak ahead. I have no problem putting Burrow ahead. I wouldn't argue with you. And then Stafford, Tannehill, Jimmy G, obviously, is last. So that's my order.
Mike, for me, you might be a little surprised, but of course I have Mahomes 1, Rodgers 2, Allen 3. Then I had Joe Burrow at 4, only because I'm looking at these playoffs, Mike, and the way that Joe Burrow's playing. That's kind of why I had him ahead of Dak here. But if I were to factor in the entire season, and if I was like doing rankings for fantasy and everything, I still have Dak as the top 5 quarterback in the league. But really, just these playoffs have shown me a lot, and we're going to talk a little bit about Dak and the Cowboys and everything, but that's why I have Burrow currently ranked ahead of Dak again, just for kind of what I saw this weekend. At number 5, I have Stafford. Number 6, Dak. 7, Brady. Number 8, Tannehill. Number 9, Jimmy G.
7, the guy that led the league in touchdowns and yards. Yeah, yards is 7th.
Okay, but what did he? I mean, I understand that you have to have weapons to be successful, but what happens when Godwin and AB are gone? You know what I mean? Like, what did he look like? He became human, right?
Yeah, he wasn't as. I mean, he's still good, but yeah, he wasn't.
He's still great. I'm just saying, when you factor in age, and that defensive line was giving him fits, dude.
It was. I can't put Stafford above Tom Brady. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't. Burrow, I get Burrow's talent, like Burrow's projection is. He clearly just hasn't seen enough to just, if he's going up against an elite defense, give me Brady, because Brady's will be able to beat you a few times just on he'll know what you're bringing. Just his knowledge. But man, all right.
But what Burrow's done in his second season,
All right, Max Kellerman.
Now I'm just saying, hey, what Burrow's been able to do in his second season, and just 3 years ago, I mean, people were talking about Cincinnati being the worst franchise in the NFL. Now look where they're at, dude.
Yeah, no, and it's 90% that quarterback too. Don't even get me wrong.
Yeah. So, Mike, I don't know. Are you the type of person like me where if your team gets beat by a team in the playoffs, are you rooting for the team that beat your team to make it to the championship? What I'm asking is, or are you rooting for the 49ers?
All right, so here's the thing. I don't want Niners to get their 6th Super Bowl because it would put them above
Obvious
us.
Reasons. Yeah.
So I have been rooting for the Niners because Cisco, who lives here, Tim, who lives here, are Niner fans. At my work, I have 3 or 4 Niner fans there, including Muhammad, my best friend. So it's nice to have them have a team to cheer for. And it's not like they're Kansas City and stuff where they've been winning every year and you get tired of them. They haven't won for quite a long time. They've been to a couple, but haven't won. Mm-hmm. So I was rooting for them to beat Green Bay for that reason. But I don't know if they get into a Super Bowl. I don't care if they beat the Rams. I can't stand the Rams. But if they get into a Super Bowl with Kansas City that I have no reason to root against, or Bengals, who I totally root for Joe Burrow, I would probably root for the AFC team over either of the NFC teams. So
I got you.
Currently, yes, go Niners. Super Bowl, probably don't want them winning their 6th.
Yeah, Mike, for me, I definitely was rooting for the Niners. I'm the type of fan that whichever team beats my team, I want them to win it all, actually.
That's fair. Yeah, that makes sense. Then you're like, we lost to the champs.
Exactly. That's kind of petty like that, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that's stretching, dude. It's so stretching. We lost to the champs, so we could have been the 2nd best team, really.
Hey, whatever helps me sleep at night, right?
Yeah, that's like real reach, but I get it, man. I ain't hating on it.
After the way they finished the regular season, then on the road beating our boys, the Cowboys, and then going on the road again in the frozen tundra beating the Packers, has your opinion of the 49ers changed?
Not since the way they handled us. I was like, okay, this team's legit, because I've said a million times I thought we were going to beat them by a couple scores. And I knew because they really whooped us. Like, it was not as close as the score showed. So I knew they were legit. And I honestly thought they had a 50-50 at worst chance of beating Green Bay. So no, the Green Bay game didn't change anything for me. The way they handled us let me know, no, this team could definitely go to the Super Bowl.
Mike, for me, it actually it did change. And the reason being is I knew that they were good, and I knew people were underestimating them when they were playing us. But to go to Lambeau and win in the frozen tundra, man, I feel like that really says a lot about your team.
Shows a lot because, like, we love Dak. Dak's a very good quarterback. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's just not. You got to be
No, he's
fair.
not. Yeah.
And they locked up Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to hear about the weather. One team's from California, one team's from Green Bay. That guy's like, I think he was like 28-7 or something in freezing games or something crazy. So, I don't want to hear anything about the weather, this and that. That defense locked them down. Good for them.
That second half was really a beautiful defensive performance by the Niners.
It was incredible. It really was. That's a well-coached unit.
Yes, sir. Mike, a popular topic last week was Kurt Warner's film breakdown of the Dallas 49ers game. So we thought we'd discuss that a bit. So, what were 3 things you took away from watching Kurt Warner's film breakdown?
Number 1, the team has terrible game plans versus zone coverage. It's like they only call man beaters. Like, and then if it's not man, like, the quarterback has to be godly.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Dude, ridiculous, dude.
to get a chance. Like, they don't help the quarterback out with their scheme at all. It's a lot worse than I assumed. Dak still played poorly. That's my second one. I want to put that in there. He made some wrong reads. He missed some stuff, but the play calls were the real issue. Like,
yeah.
They called stuff that's like, why are you calling that? To go back to point 1, why are you calling that and not giving yourself anything if it's a zone coverage? You just basically were like, hopefully it's man, and it works out. Like, it was a bad offensive game plan, very poor. And then the third thing where Niners knew the Cowboys playbook. Like that, the thing they kept showing where when the back would go out to swing and Fred Warner would just make a dart towards the outside curl route. Like instantly, he was like, oh, that means that's all you run off of that. Like they had that key, and if they got that, if Zeke did that, they knew the play. That's terrible. Mm-hmm. That's awful. So that was my 3 things that I got from the Kurt Warner video.
Well, Mike, I know you're our film guy. I always call you the brains of this operation. So, for me, maybe I'm giving the unit a little bit too much credit, but from what I took away from that was, man, San Francisco's defense really is elite. Again, to me, that's what I saw. That's what I thought, because it seemed like they had the perfect coverage for every play. Now, again, I know that the game plan, didn't really do the team a lot of favors, but it did seem like San Francisco, their defense, their players stick to their assignment, and they don't try to do anything else, and that's kind of what makes them successful. They don't try to do too much. They know their role and they stick to it. So I think knowing your assignment and sticking to it, that can kind of take your defense. We saw how that was a big problem for the Cowboys in 2020, where guys didn't know their assignments, and then when they did know it, they wouldn't stick to it, and we saw what happened there. But I came away thinking that San Francisco's defense is elite. Excuse me, guys. Number 2, I felt like Dak really questions himself too much. I know again the game plan was pretty bad, and Dak was having to really play a perfect game, having to make some really difficult throws in order to have any sort of success. But I did feel like there were times where you could see somebody open, and Dak was kind of standing there in the pocket, and instead of just letting it rip, he was holding on to the ball too long. Again, I know that the offensive line was an issue, and San Francisco's their defensive line was getting home quite a bit. But I do think that Dak might have been questioning himself just a little too much on some plays. And then number 3, it actually, this might be a little surprising. I came away feeling like I was a little bit more mad at McCarthy than Kellen, just because of his experience in the playoffs, experience with the San Francisco 49ers. I felt like he should have had more influence and better help Kellen more.
Yeah, it makes me it's really something that they didn't adjust, because I went through and started watching all 22 for the season, and you could see teams go from we're going to play man to we're going to play zone, and it really affected the. And I don't know. I really don't know how they didn't adjust to that. It blows my mind, like how they don't have counters to when people take stuff away, like allowing a linebacker to just run out towards a curl and leave the middle of the field wide open because they absolutely know you will not adjust and switch the play. Just instead of Zeke swinging, have him run the right back over the middle. Nobody would be there. The guy would have to worry about the outside. He wouldn't be able to make it back in. Never made that adjustment once. That blows my mind which that's a Kellen Moore thing for me, but also, like you said, the experience. Why didn't Mike McCarthy go to him and go, hey, how come we're not making these adjustments? These teams are playing us this way.
Right.
So the offensive side of the ball was bad, coaching all the way around. The offensive line was really bad. And then add on to that, Dak was missing reads. Dak was holding the ball too long. It made for that's how you lose a game.
Yeah, we really, man, just started beating ourselves towards the end of the season, and that's really disappointing.
Yeah, and if you they got to it really seemed like Kurt Warner was talking about. It seemed like a really easy fix. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why wide receivers don't come in with options. Like if they're in this, run this. If they're in this, run this, and then trust your guys to make the right reads and run the right route. Like I
Right.
don't know, it just seems crazy to me.
So, Mike, another, I'm not sure how much tread this got, but something that really caught my attention was your guy, not to be trite, who can be found on Twitter at Burgers and Blitzes. He had an interesting tweet last week with some insider information. Speaking only for myself, that tweet, if true, is very concerning. Before we discuss it, I'm going to read it so that anyone who hasn't seen it will know what we're talking about. So here it is. It says, I have some info on a few things that caused the offensive problems, but don't want to put it out there. So here's my receipt. Dak's calf was worse than what got out. Nothing torn, but it's why he wasn't running until the last 2 weeks. Steven got pissed at Kellen for trying trick plays in the early season blowouts. Once Collins got back and they let McCarthy have his dog and pony show of punishment, he was forced back into the lineup, Evia up top. Money got on the field. They also get to play Cowboys football in their eyes with him in the lineup. There went your misdirection, pin and pull, etc. This ties back into Steven getting pissed at Kellen for showing too much. And that Amari's vac status is, and will be a problem. No way around it. Then his half-assed play on ones where he's not the primary read made things even worse. So, Mike, after that, reading that tweet, how much truth do you think was said by this source?
I know Mike very well, and I 100% believe that he has a source and that this is accurate information. So I'm not going to elaborate why, but I 100% believe Mike, and that all that he said there was facts.
Yeah, Mike, it's hard to tell for me, but if Mike is willing to share it and put his name on it, I'd say there's quite a bit of truth to it. Like you said you know him pretty well, and that you have reasons to why you believe that it's true that you won't share. But I mean, if you're willing to say it and Mike's willing to put his name on it, then I mean, there's got to be a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, I 100% believe what Mike put in that tweet absolutely happened this season.
So going on our next question, if everything that was said is true, the Stephen Kellen comments especially, how concerned are you for the future?
It's extremely concerning because the way that they want to play Cowboys football, we see it in two playoff teams, Titans and Niners, but both those teams have extremely impressive defenses. And then you can see what happened to the Titans. When they basically, you can win that way, but you can lose every week to every team because you're just not explosive enough. If you're we want to run the ball and control the clock type of thing, that's not really what works, in this day and age. And it's very rare. If you look at the teams, look at Kansas City, look at Cincinnati, look at Tampa, look at the Rams. They all are big time. Buffalo, and then you have Niners who snuck in. and
Yeah.
have Kyle Shanahan, one of the greatest run game coordinators of all time, and an absolutely dog elite defense. That's hard. It's hard to win that way. So if you look, it's about young coordinators, young up and coming coordinators and play callers, and so if they want to win, if Cowboys football is the way it's being perceived by sources like with what Mike has, that's concerning.
Yeah, Mike, this is extremely concerning if this is in fact the case. And I'm not kidding when I say this. If Steven and Jerry dictate who plays, what plays are being called, and prevents Kellen and the coaches from doing their jobs and better players being on the field, therefore interfering with the game and prioritizing Cowboys football over winning, Mike, I will not be a Cowboys fan anymore.
Oof,
I mean,
man.
how can you how can you root for a team when the front office has that kind of mindset?
Yeah, and it sucks because it's like the CM Punk pipe bomb back in the day when he talked about if Vince McMahon died, the company might get better, but it's going to be taken over by his idiot son-in-law and daughter and stuff. What's kind of like that now? We're just going to go from Jerry, who at least won 3 back in the day, to Catboy, and then Charlotte and Jerry Jones Jr. and stuff, and it's just could be bad for a long time. We gotta hope they hit it in this next 2 to 3 year window.
That's just, man. I don't. I guess looking at it, I mean, how can a organization that doesn't put winning first, how could you root for a team that way?
They market them really well. That's basically what it is. They're a great marketing team.
I might not be a fan, but please believe I'll be watching, right? Because I'm always going to be a fan of Dak.
Yeah, man, I'm born and bred into it, man. I have to. It's been too long. It's ingrained. I'm just gonna eat it and suffer. I'll just put it on the next thing that's with the suffering. So I'll fight through and deal with it. I've dealt with it for 26 years.
As a fan and someone with health issues, Mike, is Amari not being vaccinated a problem for you?
Not for me. I'm vaccinated. I have a booster shot. In California, it's kind of what we do, for the most part. So I am vaccinated. While we're on this little thing where you have to wear the mask indoors, I wear it. I don't like them. It gives me trouble breathing. I have glasses that fog up, but I do what I need to do. That man is a grown man. He's like 7, or is he somewhere between 27 and 29 years old? If he doesn't want to, it's his decision. It's not what I would do, but I'm not Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is Amari Cooper, and I'm not going to get mad at him. It's health stuff. That's on him. I'm not getting involved in that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, he's a grown man, and he's a smart guy as well. So I'm sure he's got his reasons why, and I know that he's been out and about, seen without his mask on and everything. But I feel like the picture of him at the Mavs game without his mask on, I felt like that was a bit overblown.
Yeah, it's I don't. The organization might not like it because it's kind of like the kneeling thing, like they kind of want you to fall in line. So if they can get out of the contract and some receiver falls to them, or they can keep Gallup coming off an ACL injury, nobody can test his leg for a long time, and they can get him on a 1 year, $7 to $10 million deal. Maybe Amari goes. You just don't know. So I think the team doesn't like it at all. Just me and you were like, you're a grown up, make decisions.
Well, Mike, moving on to our next segment, we're going to do Mike's view from the sidelines of playoff edition. What did you see this weekend?
Number one, this is one. I'm not going to get into a rant about it, but stop crying about the OT rules. I heard when they said the field goal, that I understood, because a coin flip, you go like 15 yards, the guy kicks a 55-yard field goal. It feels cheap. You had 13 seconds. You didn't get it. If you lose the toss and you go down and they score a touchdown on you, it's game over. Stop negating the defense. Hold them without a touchdown. This is the thing that I don't understand. Oh, coin toss, it was over. Why? They can't get a stop? Nope, can't get a stop. Okay, so what do you want to do? The other team scores. right? They score a touchdown, and then the team gets the ball back and scores again, then the game's over. Well, then they didn't get a chance to go back at them again. So what's the difference? The defense can stop them. Well, make them go till somebody stops them. Yeah, but you just said they can't stop them.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he stop them on the first one? So they're just going to go back and forth. What happened to players' safety? You just want to kill them for another 12 drives where they go back and forth on each other scoring touchdowns? The defense wears down more and more every time they have to go out there. Like, stop bitching. Make a stop. You know the rules. Stop crying about it. So OT rules are fine. You don't have to do college. Make a stop. There's two sides to football. Stop them. Matter of fact, stop them in the 13 seconds, and then it would have been over. Yeah. You know, so stop bitching about the fucking OT rules. The second one is winning in the playoffs is about quarterbacks and play callers. You know, it's Jimmy G is one that overcame with a great defense and stuff, but that's the exception to the rule. Burrow, great young quarterback, good play caller. Buffalo, who easily could have won if they held a team 13 seconds. Kansas City, the Rams, young, good offensive play coaches, play callers, coaches, and quarterbacks who can get the job done. And then there's the unique team out of the four, the Niners, who got in, and it easily could have been Green Bay, and we'd be saying the same thing with Green Bay's coach and quarterback. So, you know, just that's one thing I noticed. You need, like, my hire would not be Dan Quinn, and I love Dan Quinn. He's unbelievable. If I'm a team, other than maybe the Bears, because they just went through a failure of a coach like that, and they kind of fit a defensive mind. If I'm Denver, I just got done with Vic Fangio. What am I going to go get Dan Quinn for? Get an offensive mind. You know, just that's my opinion. You need to go young offensive coordinators. Third one, games are better when the refs aren't involved. NFL.
Oh yeah, yeah.
4 penalties in that Chiefs. And you mean to tell me that Chris Jones wasn't held? You know, you mean to tell me that oh God, the badass the Oliver for Buffalo, he was, you know, holding is all the time. There was plenty of things you could have ticky-tack pass interference on lob ups for 30-yard passes. You ain't got to always throw the flag. The games are better when we don't notice refs, when it's between the two teams. So just maybe remember that going into the next year. That's my 3.
Man, yeah, it's especially salty for Cowboys fans when you look at that 4 flags compared to 23 in the Cowboys-Niners game. Man, that stings.
Tied a record, 14. Like, just get it out of there. Like, and the thing is they could have done even more. Like, Micah Parsons got held basically every play it wasn't called. Randy Gregory was defensive holding almost every run play to his side. It wasn't called, like, which is good, you know, but man, 14, just let shit roll a little bit. If it's not really impacting
the play,
just let it go. Don't call it.
Yeah. All right, Mike, here we are with one word, and one word this week is describe the Buffalo Kansas City game.
Enjoyable.
Hey.
It's just an enjoyable game. The great game to watch. It was awesome. And it was lessened to 0 by the OT rule to go back to 1. Kansas City should have got stopped in 13 seconds. When you don't do that, don't get me crying about them coming down and scoring on you after winning the goal. Make a stop, number 1 defense. Number 1 defense in the league. Make a stop.
I got to admit, though, man, it is a shame that Josh Allen didn't get one more chance. I understand what you're saying. It makes perfect sense. But no, yeah, I understand that. It's unfortunate that, you know, after Kansas City scored that TD, that Buffalo's offense didn't get one more chance.
If they stopped them, they'd have got another chance.
I can't believe what they were able to do in 13 seconds.
If the defense wasn't giving up, if the number 1 defense in the NFL did not give up a touchdown, they'd have got the ball back. All you have to do is not give up a touchdown. That's it. No touchdown. Like, come on. Stop crying about the friggin' OT rules. Jesus Christ.
Dude, how much of a savage is Tyreek Hill for waving while he scores that TD?
CeeDee Lamb got friggin'
10K.
Yeah, it's stupid.
All right, Mike. So Gabe Davis set a playoff record with 4 touchdowns, 4 lead changes in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, and a game-tying field goal drive with only 13 seconds left on the clock. The Buffalo Kansas City game was legendary, sir.
Yeah, it's a good word. It will always that 13 seconds. 13 seconds will be a thing in football
Yes,
history. People
for
will say
sure.
13 seconds, and that is what will be remembered. It
Abs-
was incredible. It was crazy.
Absolutely, sir. Well, Mike, here we are. Shout out to me for this week's top 5. This week we are discussing.
Put that, you really put that music on, dude.
I just had to bust your chops for a second, Mike.
And
We're
the
going to be
point
discussing.
me and Paul are about to undress for you guys and oil ourselves up.
Mike's got the tequila talking again.
Right here, ready to go.
Are you going to use the good stuff on me or what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're getting the diabetic, super dry skin one.
All right, guys.
You're lucky I don't use sand.
I'm trying to add a little spice to the broadcast, guys. So, I'm not really feeling a lot of this music, so we'll just we'll stop where we're ahead. But we're going to be discussing tonight our top 5 beverages. Mike, I don't know. I know you've been drinking tonight, so give us number 5 on your list.
There's a brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso that is served at Starbucks.
Oh, dude,
I would get
phenomenal.
I'll get that like every day, dude, for a while until my doctor was like, "Nah, bro, you need to stop doing that." So I don't get it. I barely drink a coffee. I haven't had Starbucks once in like the last 6 weeks. So I'll make them at home. I have coffee pods and I have a little foamer to make creamer and I have some sugar-free syrups, but it's not, it's not as bad as having Starbucks every day and paying for that too.
I try to find a way to get coffee on my list, but then I was thinking it's like I enjoy coffee, but I don't know if I didn't really need it more so to get through the day, like to wake up and get my day started and everything. So I feel like I drink it more so out of like necessity. I do enjoy it, especially like I enjoy a boba tea or an iced coffee, but I didn't add it in there because I don't just find myself really enjoying it as much as I do the other drinks on my list.
That's my red line. So my boss brings a red line for us and we split it half, and that's it's fine, it tastes fine and everything, but that's my like, all right, let's get through this shift crack drink. So that's that. I enjoy the coffee.
Yeah, especially like that brown sugar oat milk you were talking about, man. That thing is crazy how good it is.
So good.
Number 5 on my list, Mike, it's going to be pretty plain here. I'm going with water.
Oh, nice. Water. I love water. That really should be on everybody's top 5 list. Water is, you can't have sink water here because it tastes gross, but I like bottled water.
Especially when you have like a lime wedge or lemon wedge in there.
Yeah, when I go out to a place, I get water with lemon. Put a little lemon wedge in there. Boop.
Yes, sir. All right, Mike, I assume you're familiar with this drink, and I imagine you've had your fair share. But number 4 on my list is going to be horchata.
Oh, yeah, rice milk, right?
Yes, sir, with cinnamon and everything.
With your last name, sir, horchata had to be on the list. Wouldn't have been
yes,
right.
Sir. I don't get it as much as as much as I'd like because it's hard to find the really good stuff. Like if you get it out of my machine, sometimes it's homemade, sometimes it's not. When it's in that big jug, you know what I mean, with the ladle, it's the real deal. But yeah, I don't know. I don't drink it as much as I'd like to, but that's definitely when I go somewhere and I know it's good, I get it every time.
You only get horchata out of food trucks. Food trucks.
Right.
Horchata out of food trucks. That's the way to go.
Yes, sir. Mike, what's number 4 on your list?
Number 4 for me is, I moved it around here, Sprite Zero. Look, I did the list right before we went on. I did the first drink because I was like, oh, this is easy. And then totally forgot I had other stuff to do. And so I was like, okay, what do I drink? I like Sprite. I can't have Sprite anymore. I drink Sprite Zero. It's a pretty good version of it. It's better than the 7-Ups and I don't really like the Sierra Mist or Mountain Dew. So Sprite Zero's good with ice. Have it every once in a while.
All right, well, Mike, what's number 3 on your list?
Number 3 would be Coke Zero. Yes, this could be Pep. I am not one of those. I drink Coke Zero, Pepsi Zero Sugar. If RC had a zero sugar, I'd drink it. I don't get into the wars. The only reason I like Coke better than Pepsi is because I like Sprite better than Sierra Mist and 7-Up in them. So I take Coke products normally because I like Sprite. But I drink Coke, I drink Pepsi. I don't care. They're both great. So whatever zero sugar cola you put in front of me, count me in as number 3 on that.
I don't have this on my list, Mike, but man, I love an ice cold cherry Coke.
Oh, dude, they have Pepsi Wild Cherry.
Wild cherry Pepsi.
Zero sugar. And it is good. I have it in my fridge right now. That should have been on my list.
One thing about wild cherry Pepsi, it's like I prefer it more out of the machine more so than I do the can or the bottle.
I don't get sodas when I go out because not many places offer the zero sugar.
Yeah.
More do now, but I've just kind of gotten used to getting water when I go out and saving myself the money, really.
Mm-hmm. Mike, I don't know if we've ever discussed this, but in Cali, do y'all have a lot of Chick-fil-A's?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. We have 3 in Fresno.
Okay. Because number 3 on my list, I'm not sure if you're familiar with their infamous homemade lemonade. Have you ever had that?
I have not. Do they piss in their lemonade? Is that what that is? Are you drinking Chick-fil-A employee piss, sir?
Gosh, I hope not, man, because that's number 3 on my list. Their homemade lemonade. It's phenomenal, sir.
Oh, it's homemade, all right, buddy.
Thanks for just killing my third favorite drink in the world.
Hey, little urine. You could be like what's it from Dodgeball? I drink my urine because it's sterile and I like the taste.
My cousin, she had a funny story. Do y'all have Cane's, like the chicken tender place?
Yes, I've never been there, but I know we have one of those, I think one's coming right now. One's about to be here. That's what it is. I don't think we have one. One is about to be built here in Fresno. Where is that being built?
Amazing tenders, amazing sauce, dude.
We got a chicken shack right by my work. Little pricey, not great. I didn't love it. It was okay. I wouldn't go again for that price.
Well, the reason I brought up Cane's is because of my cousin. They also have really good lemonade, and she said, that's what she used to always drink when she'd go there. And she said one night she was having dinner with the family and everything, and that there was something, she went to go get a refill of lemonade, and apparently like the machine was clogged. It's like in one of those big like see-through jug type things. And the manager's like, okay, I'll take care of it. So he like puts on this plastic glove, and the rest of his arm is exposed. He's got a short sleeve shirt on, so it's just like his arm hair and everything. He just digs his entire arm in there to like remove a lemon.
It's because they piss in it. So what's some arm hair? People are drinking the employees' piss.
I hate you so much, dude. God, I'll never drink lemonade again, man. I hate you so much.
Lemonade's so good too. That would be so sad to not. You got to make your own lemonade, like just so you don't piss in it. That's all I'm saying.
Do you like limeade?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I can't. Diabetic, man, it's hard to have it. But yes, I did. When I didn't know I was diabetic, I drink it all the time.
I'm surprised, man. I just thought about this. I could have easily had a Sonic strawberry limeade on my list.
Cherry limeade, Sonic has some good ones. It was hard because I started thinking afterwards of like milkshakes and stuff like that. But I was like, I basically picked the 5 drinks I drink the most. That's what I did.
So, Mike, number 2 on my list, something I drink regularly, especially during the football season. I'm going with Truly hard seltzers.
I knew that was on your list. That for sure I knew. When I see Truly at the store, because it just kind of started making its way to Fresno, that I noticed it was because of you on the ATB Fantasy Show. So, yeah, I knew that was going on your list 100%.
Have you ever had a hard seltzer, like with alcohol?
Is it like a beer? Is it like a beer?
No, it's more so like imagine a Topo Chico with alcohol.
I've had Mike's Hard Lemonade.
No, way better than that.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's like a
I've had the low
bubbly
ranch.
drink. Hmm?
I've never had it. I never tried it truly. I'm not.
It's not for everybody, man.
I like hard liquor in shot glasses. Really, is what I really like.
Yeah. Well, Mike, what's number 2 on your list?
It's my pirate shot glass. That's what we used to do for every party. We'd fill it all the
Oh,
way,
all the way to the top?
and then you had to kill it before everybody had to have one before we would start partying.
Oh, wow.
10 years off my life, bro, easily for
Hey,
5 years of partying.
I've
Bad.
got some more stories of my own, sir. We won't get into that, though.
What are we? Two?
You're number 2.
Water.
Hey.
I drink a lot of water. I knew I had to have it up there. I Yeah, when I go on my reset, like everybody's like, "How do you go without the coffee?" And this, and I was like, "Because I love water." And luckily, it's not so bad for me because I truly, truly love water. So yeah, that's my second drink on there. Easy, you don't need to go into it. We all know water.
All right, Mike, number 1. What's on your list?
Frozen Jack and Coke. Had to take
Mm.
it to Disneyland. I go. It's a Smoke Jumpers. I get it every time. I never, at least once, I never go without getting it. And you can get frozen rum and Coke also. I like the frozen Jack and Coke myself. So I almost put those 1 and 2 on my list just to be like an ass. Frozen Jack and Coke, frozen rum and Coke. I wanted to do all alcoholic, but like I said, I take shots. I don't make too many drinks. Like I'm old school drink, like Tom Collins. Well, yeah, I have it like a couple times a year, but it ain't one of my favorite drinks. So yeah, frozen Jack and Coke. Had to end it with an alcoholic beverage because I'm an alcoholic and a lush.
Mike, number 1 for me. I know there's a lot of Mexican cuisine there in Cali, but are you familiar with a restaurant called Uncle Julio's? It's Tex-Mex.
I don't think so.
Probably the best fajitas you'll ever have in your life. If you ever come to Texas, when you come to see me, take it to Uncle Julio's so we can sit on the patio, have some fajitas, and have my number 1 favorite drink, the margarita swirl.
Oh yeah, margarita swirl. That's a good one. That could easily make my list. You know what it is I couldn't think of like specific names, and I didn't want to just put margarita because it's
Yeah.
specific ones that I like. That's spicy and stuff like that. That's a margarita swirl is good.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what it is. Every time I go there, I get one, but it might be my favorite alcoholic drink other than Truly.
Bro, we you got 2 alcoholic drinks in yours. We both ended with alcoholic drinks as our top drink. Put the
Are
porn
you
music on. Let's go.
for the after hours pod, sir?
Tequila, tequila. I won't have tequila before we do a pod anymore.
Hey, I know it's the
Or
off
I'll have
season.
one every time.
We're not quite as buttoned up as we used to be, are we?
The season's over for us, man. I'm on to doing draft stuff already. They're trying to pick the next player I want to do.
So, I'm glad you mentioned draft because I have an interesting idea, Mike. What if, I know you're doing your draft profiles, here in a couple of weeks, like what if I give you a player to look at, if, depending on the position you're scouting, you take a look and you kind of give me your draft preview of that player and we can discuss it with the audience.
Yeah, I could do that. You just got to give it to me ahead of time so I can make sure
Yeah.
I just started. So, like, to be honest with you, minus a couple players that I kind of looked up to see, like looking for certain styles for Dallas, linebackers and offensive line is all I've really done because when I look at our team, I say, we're going to need linebackers, we're going to need offensive line, and now I'm looking at edge rushers. I don't know why. I just don't look at safety because I don't trust
it's not going to be drafted.
do anything. Yeah, because honestly, the pick at 24, really, Daxton Hill or the kid Brisker from Penn State, beautiful pick. Will Dallas pick a safety round 1? I don't know. That's the problem. But if you look value wise, what Will McClay likes, the offensive tackles don't really come from big enough schools. And normally he sticks to that early unless it's Boise State, which I think they consider a bigger school because they played in like they've been in the top 5s and stuff like that. Boise State had a few years where they were legitimately competing. So they stick with Alabama, Michigan, Penn State, Cleveland, Clemson, UGA. They stick with those big schools. The offensive tackles don't really come from there. Will the linebackers stay? And if they do, will they pick them? I think N'Kobe Dean fits everything that Will McClay would want. Comes from Georgia, just won the national championship, dynamic player at a position that they see as a big position because it's not just off-ball linebacker, which we've seen them go after only off-ball linebackers before. But N'Kobe Dean is like a 5 tool, like a Parsons light. So I believe that's the pick. If you made me pick now and you told me who's there, I think they fit. But the other two that really fit that, Penn State, safety, the values there, the big school, and then Hill. Is it Daxton Hill or Daxton Miller?
I think it's Daxton Hill. Pretty
Okay.
almost positive.
Yeah, safety from Michigan.
Michigan.
So
Daxton Hill.
Yeah, the big schools matter to Will McClay and to Dallas. So when I'm going over this stuff, maybe a little reach at 24. Maybe you trade back and get one of them because one of them probably drops there. But I love the idea of safe. I think this could be the year that they bite the bullet and get a safety because the value's there and the school, the big school and everything fits there. And if the right linebacker or the right edge doesn't fall right, that spot makes sense this time.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to see it, man. Just going back to Mike's tweets, if you said he's got good insider info, man. If that stuff's true, it's going to be hard for me to root for the Cowboys organization. Of course, I'll always root for the players, and I say that I won't be a fan, but I'll be buying the hat or the jersey and dedicating my Sundays to them and everything. But God, it'll just be so frustrating to know that they don't prioritize winning over everything.
Yeah, and it's been a thing that we kind of known. We know that it's about the brand and the marketing and everything, and the winning comes second to that. But it's starting to get – this year was the first offseason I felt since the 3 8-8s in a row by Romo that the losing really hurt the brand. Like really hurt the brand. Yeah. And that's why I think Jerry Jones came out so pissed and tried to change the narrative because people were kind of like, man, F this. Like legitimately like piss on this team. And we're so tired of this at this point. And so, I want to see how that affects them going forward. Maybe they finally say, let's make one big jump at a guy. Maybe they go after, what's that kid, the safety that's going to be a free agent? Is it Simmons or did he sign? Was he a franchise tag? There's one safety that's a really good one that I'm blanking on that's coming on the market. And if they really took a shot at him, it would be like, okay, here we go. I don't expect it, but maybe at some point soon, the brand being affected by the success in the playoffs will jumpstart them to make a bigger move in free agency.
Well, we can only hope, Mike, because it's obvious that Jerry's frustrated. So maybe if he starts to kind of start calling the shots again, that things will change.
It would be nice. It's. I just don't know if I believe it. So yeah, we'll see if it's just a show or if they really make an attempt.
Well, Mike, as always, man, I enjoy the discussion tonight. While we're getting you out of here, remind the people they can find you on Twitter.
At CD Piglet, guys. Letter C, letter D, Piglet. Nice and easy.
Guys, I am Paul Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at Paul_Ryan15. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.